You guys know I don't drag anybody, but I won't even mention his name. I saw a video that he did, and he was talking about how somebody said, I didn't see the tweets, but he said, if you're not making 200,000 naira, you have no business, like above 200,000 naira, you have no business starting a family. And he went ahead to talk about how the past generation of parents, they did whatever they could. They bought half kerosene, small Maggie, and they squeezed every bit of, is it joy or whatever, from the situation that they were in. And they went to government schools. Some states in Nigeria have free government schools where there are barely any teachers, and majority of the teachers are illiterates. I partly went to government school, so I know what I'm talking about. But I noticed you stopped at secondary school, so let's take it further. University. The children that grew up from those households that you are glazing, how do they fare past the secondary school level after they graduate from those government schools and go to federal universities and state universities? The parents are no longer able to provide, sometimes even feed them. I lived in the hostel. It's a common thing. It's not even something like that. Like I've seen one or two where somebody, you just see them, they'll just be lying down. They'll go to class, come back, they'll lie down. It will take like up to 3 days for us to realize that, wait, we've not seen this person eat anything. And every time they are begging somebody for water, please, you have water, please, you have water. And that's the water that they're going to be drinking. And because we don't cook in that hostel, so everybody goes to buy food, so we go together. So before, like, you observe that some people are just lying down, they're not following any group to go and buy food. Then somebody that probably is from average home that has extra cash will now tell them, bring your plates, let's go. These are how children that grew up from those homes manage. This is the class that produced the group of people that snatch ballot box. This is the class that produced the group of people that the government pays to disrupt peaceful protests. This is the class that are being forced into banditry, that are being used to destabilize the country right now. This is the class where the kidnappers and the rest of them are coming from. They came from those homes where their parents were feeding them hand to mouth. There was barely anything. I've seen children that wore one shoe, the shoe cut from the middle. They will sew it until there's nothing to sew anymore. The shoe will start to break. Some kids start walking barefoot. When you see that, and your conclusion was like you turned out okay. I've forgotten the word you used, but you said you turned out okay. Like, how can you be okay with looking at children suffering like that, and the only thing you're consoling yourself with is, well, you turned out okay? Like, then let's talk about the parents while that's going on, why they are buying the half rubber of kerosene to cook with firewood. They take out their frustration on the kids. They beat the hell out of those children because somebody convinced them that having children is the best thing you can do, is happiness. And then they have the kids and it's like, why are you not bringing the happiness? Things are now more difficult for me. They take out that frustration on the kids to a point where beating your kids is now part of African culture. When you start going to average households, you notice that this whole beating of kids thing, it's not really a normal thing there. It's not something that is done, but that class that you're talking about, beating your kid is like your human right. If you tell them don't beat their kids, it's like you're taking away their right. I don't know where this mindset of reproducing for the sake of reproducing came from, but I'm appealing to you to have some empathy towards the children, the type of life that they are going to live. I know you're seeing people on the street, they're probably fine. But the internal struggle, have you checked the statistics on suicide lately? People being trafficked, people putting themselves in harm's way just to provide. Parents expecting their child that is in the university to be sending them money. Like, this is even a common thing when you go to the universities. Those parents, the moment their kids step the leg into the university, they start expecting the kids to give them money. People are getting into fraud, prostitution, and you're glorifying it as if it's something to be proud of. And I saw another guy talking about if our parents waited till they had money before they have kids, many of us won't be here. Good. That means kids will now be from homes where their parents are mentally adjusted. They are not living on survival mode. The amount of kids that these people will be able to traffic will reduce. The agberos on the street will not be there. The kidnappers, the bandits, all these ones will not be there because everybody is now from a household where they can at least afford to support them. Even if they are now grown and things are not going well for them, they can fall back to their parents for help. Reproducing for the sake of reproducing is a parasitic mindset. And with the rate of reproduction in Nigeria, we are now an invasive species. Even other Africans hate to see us coming. Please see children as people. And when you're thinking about having those children, what should be on your mind is not what people would think of, oh, I now have children, or whatever those mindsets that a lot of people that have children have. Think about the life that the child is going to live. Think about the resources you have to support that child when they start getting older. In a nutshell, it shouldn't be, well, you're fine, you're alive. If everybody from that class turned out fine, the level of insecurity that we're looking at right now and the level of people putting their selves in harm's way and the fraud and the rest of them will not be happening. Have a heart and pity the children and only have kids when you have a steady source of income to a degree. Because even you're going to be miserable and you take it out on the kids. That's how it ends. They grow up traumatized. They're stuck in survival mode. They know nothing about the government because they are too busy surviving. Bandits did give away. There were people there dropping their account number. Do you know how crazy that is? What class of people do you think those people that were dropping their account number came from? Let's do better, honestly. Bye.